Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on Internet Nobodies. A while back I had the idea of rewatching this video that I made, oh god, 4 years ago, called Let's Make a Game Pikmin 4 Ideas for that game review show here on Internet Nobodies. Because Pikmin 4 has been out, it's been out for a while at this point, over a year. God, has it been 2 years? Anyways, so Pikmin 4 has been out for a little while. And I have not seen this video since uploading it. So I don't really remember much about it. I do remember one specific thing. But I want to watch it again and see how close I was. Especially in hindsight. I mostly want to do this because I have been playing Pikmin 4 the last few days. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on Internet Nobodies. I'm your host, James. And you may be thinking, hey, I'm immediately stopping this. I want to say I'm playing the Wii version. I don't like the Wii version. Why am I playing that one? I probably had like the Wii U hooked up, so I was playing off of that. But yeah, I'm playing the Wii version here. That's neat. Yeah, I've only ever played that one like once or twice. Pikmin Types. This is pretty self-explanatory. Each Pikmin game has had new Pikmin, to one extent or another, circling the main cast of the red, yellow, and blue Pikmin. Pikmin 2 introduces the strong and slow purples and the speedy and poisonous white Pikmin. Then Pikmin 3 gave us rock Pikmin that have a lot of throwing damage and can't be smushed, and flying Pikmin that say fuck you to the level design. Now, I'm not quite smart enough to come up with something quite as interesting as those, but hear me out. So this will go into level design and obstacles a little bit. But what if there was a kangaroo-type Pikmin that could permanently carry a building block of some sort? In a level, you can only have enough resources to build, let's say, 3 bridges, but there are places for 5 of them. So you can use these kangaroo Pikmin to almost carry the bridges with you. Let them... Okay, so this definitely did not happen. We did not get a kangaroo-type Pikmin. That being said, I will say that I get like 25% of a point because of the ice Pikmin. The ice Pikmin essentially act as a bridge in certain instances if you put them into shallow enough bodies of water to where they will turn it into ice. That kind of counts. That is like the meekest this counts. It's less than like half a point, though. I'm not rating this, but yeah, that's less than half a point. That barely counts. Carry a few pieces at once. This can also make them ideal for building bridges and carrying back multiple grapes or something at once, giving them more uses. Since they are overpowered for building, maybe limit the amount of damage they do, or even restrict them from attacking anyways, or maybe just when their pouches are full. My first change would be going back to the 2-captain system. Pikmin 3 has 3 captains, and there are many instances, at least in my experience, when only 2 captains are actively being used in challenge, even in the challenge mode. Sometimes I just keep a captain at base to summon all of the Pikmin back when sunset is coming, or just keeping them there to ferry around extras if needed. Okay, I will say, this was a win. Kind of. Ochi is a little bit more than an additional captain, but we did get back to essentially the 2-captain system that we had in the second game. Whether or not that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. I'm personally mixed on Ochi. I feel like he really ruins the difficulty of the game. But I'd say that's a solid win for me. That's like a full point. Like we not backtracked. We went down to 2 captains, kind of. We did not go up to 4 captains, like I was kind of worried that we would. 2 captains seem to be the ideal, especially with the Go Here system that Pikmin 3 added, which is a huge game changer. My next addition would be larger levels. Pikmin levels tend to feel way too small, especially in Pikmin 3 when you can have the characters move to areas you need them with the push of a button. Maybe increase map size by at least double, maybe even 3 times. But a way to help with this is having more than one landing location for the base. If you can pick an area which to land that might be more advantageous for that day, would be kinda awesome, and could help with making replays a little more unique by giving more choice. An even wilder change would be allowing one captain to land at each base, maybe with 2 onions as well, so you can attack the level right away from 2 spots, almost making it 2 levels at once, and then you can have both captains explore the whole level and clear everything out. I mean, that one is kind of wishful thinking, but the larger levels part, I like that one. That was a win. Larger levels, that is exactly what we got. I don't know how to quantify how much larger the levels in Pikmin 4 are than in the previous titles, but they are larger. They're a fair bit larger. And we got multiple landing sites. That being said, we didn't get the option to land at any site that we wanted at the beginning of the day, but we have multiple landing sites in larger levels. I see that as a win on my part, but we did not get the option to land in 2 separate spots with the different captains. That one I did not win, but that was more of like a side point, I believe. My next change would be going back to the treasures of Pikmin 2. Pikmin 1 saw you collecting ship parts, which was cool, but I think there are only so many of those there can be. Pikmin 3 has you collecting fruit, which has a narrative and gameplay advantage by allowing you to build up your amount available over your playtime. But Pikmin 2 has the most unique collectibles. There were fruits, and suit parts, and toys, and pickle lids. Now, I'm not saying that we go back to the Dr. Pepper bottle caps, but honestly, I kind of stopped caring about the new fruit in Pikmin 3. I mean, apart from just collecting everything. Maybe have them land on a new planet with its own, like, fallen society and everything. Or maybe have them collect treasures from a fictional ancient tribe on PNF 404 again. My final... We got treasures. We got treasures in Pikmin 4. That being said, I will say this is more of a half point. Not necessarily for the fact that we do get the treasures, but a lot of them are not unique. We get a lot of, oh, we're picking up like cocktail skewers and buttons and pins. We're getting a lot of the same exact stuff that we were getting throughout the entire game. There are some unique treasures, like there's the GameCube Wavebird controller that you can pick up, but most of them weren't unique. Meanwhile, Pikmin 2, which I believe had 201 treasures, every single one of those was unique. That being said, you know, there were, oh, this one's a lid, that one's a lid. But, yeah, we did not get the unique treasures that I had hoped we would get. Addition would be some sort of rewind function. Now, this can be very, very easy to fuck up, but hear me out. Sometimes when playing, there will be times when you accidentally blow up all your Pikmin, or they get crushed, or they drown, or whatever. Pikmin are fragile, they will die from basically anything. What if alongside the Ultra Spicy Spray and the Bitter Spray from Pikmin 2, there is a third spray, or other grindable collectible, that will allow you to redo the last 15 seconds like it never happened? You can grind berries in Pikmin 3 for the Spicy Spray, so maybe make it where you need 30 or even like 50 berries for a single use of this magic spray. And, if I be so bold as to mention Devil May Cry here, the older games in the series have usable green and purple stars that will give you more health or Devil Trigger when you need it, at the expense of maybe some overarching score for the day. Now, this is an idea... I can't believe I mentioned fucking Devil May Cry in a Pikmin video. Oh my god, it is Pikmin Power Hour. But okay, half victory on my part with this one. Yes, we did get the turn back the clock function that I had asked for, but we did not get a diegetic version of it. Diegetic basically meaning that it exists in world. The version that we got is just a menu option to turn back to, like, I believe it's like 1 or 2 minute intervals, or you can just restart the entire day or the sub-level of the cave that you're on, whatever. We did not get an in-world magic spray, as I had put it. So I will say half point, but I got that idea. That being said, I'm thinking about it now. In-world spray, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but neither does Ice Pikmin. But I feel like I would have liked that more. That way there would have actually been a penalty to using the rewind function. Um, that being said, a score, a score thing for each day, that would be awesome. Like, I am down for that idea. Like, higher past me. Like, that's good shit. That's good thinking. In and of itself, I haven't really thought it through that much, but it could be interesting. Getting scores for every day, maybe mark it by how many Pikmin you've sprouted versus how many have died, versus how many treasures you've collected. I don't know. The only real downside to this is the fact that there are days in the games where you sacrifice a day to set everything up, so the next day or two you can go through and collect basically everything. This is why I would have a hard time suggesting it gets implemented, because you can foreseeably do just as much progress in 2 different days, but you only collect treasure in the second day. Okay, yep. Yeah, that's an excellent point that Past Me made. It can easily be abused, or not even necessarily abused. It can easily be used to someone's disadvantage by setting everything up one day, getting a terrible score, and making all of that progress up on the next day, getting a really, really high score on that day. So, I don't exactly know how that would work, but I don't know, maybe someone smarter than me could figure that out. I'm adding another layer to this. This is editing James. James from the future, one might say. A way around this would be tracking the total distance a part or item has moved heading toward base. And you can extrapolate that also based on like the value of the item as well. That is the only thing I could think of. I just thought of it while I was editing this. That could potentially benefit like a ranking system of some sort. And you could also add factors of like broken walls and all that will add to setting up one day to then succeed another day. But maybe that would offset that a little bit because you are still making progress the one day and it is tracking. Alright, that's all. Goodbye. Final change would be bringing back all of the suit upgrades. I know this can be part of the additions list, but I figured it would make sense since Pikmin 2 had a lot of upgrades. And really, it was kinda awesome. Pikmin 3 only had a few suit upgrades, one of which adds a dodge, which honestly never gets used, and the others are just armor upgrades, essentially so you take less damage from enemies or you can touch fire. But in Pikmin 2, there was a speed upgrade you could get, or the Pluckaphone, which lets you pluck Pikmin by whistling at them. Adding these back, and maybe some others, would be a great way to show more progression for your captains and would keep things somewhat fresh. Okay, absolute win. It is executed differently than it is within Pikmin 2. Pikmin 2, they are collectibles that you grab, usually at the end of caves. Meanwhile, in Pikmin 4, it is more so through a shop system. But the upgrades are back. I don't necessarily love how they're executed in Pikmin 4, mostly because you don't get the most helpful ones until you're pretty much done with the game, which is a huge bummer, especially because there's no New Game Plus. But, absolute win. I nailed that one. So those are my ideas for Pikmin 4. You may agree with me, which is great. You may disagree, which is great too, but this isn't your video, so be quiet. Please leave any suggestions you have for Pikmin 4 down below, and if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. With any luck, Nintendo isn't that far on Pikmin 4, so all of these can be added with very little issue, but Nintendo doesn't watch our content. Capcom does, though. I know Itsuno released Devil May Cry 5 for me. I know he did. So I know I'm releasing this on a TGRS day, but honestly... Okay, I'm gonna end it there. The rest is just rambling. I did say let's, like, people throw down suggestions in the comments. I don't think there are any, but let's look. 0 comments. Yep. Alright. Okay, well, that is it. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be like the laziest video I may have ever done. That's probably not true. this was fun. This is a good time. I do kind of want to make more Let's Make a Game videos, but I don't exactly know how I would execute that, or like what franchises I would do. Because obviously I'd want them to be like near and dear to my heart. Something like Devil May Cry came to mind. But we got a game realistically not that long ago, and I don't know what I would do idea-wise other than just like, oh, more weapons, or vague story ideas. Like going back to Malay Island is a good idea, I feel. Or not necessarily going back to Malay Island, but dealing with Mundus again. But anyways, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let us know down below, and we'll see you all next time. Hopefully Matthew will be done with his next video by then. I hope.